So guys, here we are at the wine tasting, and it is my first wine tasting in my whole life. So to be honest, I'm quite excited, but I also feel very ignorant, so I hope I learned something new today from Marina.
Hello, welcome to One Stories with Marina. We are three girls today. Sofia, would you like to introduce yourself first?
My name is Sofia and I'm Marina's sister, and I would also like to learn some more things about wine. So we have rosé today, it's my favorite.
It's her favorite, and we have 3 dry rosés. Vasi said you like some things, some characteristics in wine, but she does not know yet what exactly, so we'll try to identify today. We have 2 wines, 2 rosés from Armenia, where I currently live, and one is the darkest in color from Greece. They are all varietal wines. It means that they are made from one grape variety, Armenian grape varieties and Greek grape variety. So I think we can start with the lightest color. We call it Provence style from Armenia. It's the place where I work, EVN Wine Academy. So you can see how transparent, how light the color is. Do you know why we swirl it?
I have no idea.
But you see people swirling it,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So it releases the aromas of the wine. You can appreciate it better because it has been in this bottle. This is vintage 2019. What is vintage?
That it's an older type of wine?
The vintage is the year that the grapes have been harvested.
Oh,
This is the vintage. That's why some vintages are more expensive than other vintages, because some years have been more successful in terms of quality grapes than other vintages. That's why you can buy a Bordeaux of, let's say, 1985 for 500 euros, because it's a very good vintage. This is 2019, so it has been in this bottle for over a year. That's why it should release its aromas.
The only thing that I know is that we shouldn't hold it like that, because then it becomes warmer and
Correct.
changes.
That's correct. So the temperature is approximately 10 degrees Celsius. I took it off from the fridge like 15 minutes ago, so it's approximately 10 degrees. It's 10, 12, it's great for a rosé, so it can reveal perfectly its aromas. So what about the aromas? What can you smell?
Maybe raspberries, rose.
Vasya?
I have no idea, something fruity. I mean, I'm thinking of red fruits only because I see that the color goes more red, to be honest.
Right?
But
Yes, it has direct
otherwise-
connection, yes. Raspberry, Sofia mentioned.
Strawberry for sure.
Can you smell any like fresh strawberries? Not dried, fresh ones.
Strawberry, maybe, yes.
Maybe. And also flower. A flower is very typical, this kind of flower for rosés. Can you smell this flower?
What flower?
Can you smell it? You tell me which flower. It's rosé. Smells of...
Ah, of rose!
Yes, exactly.
Rose, yes.
Yes, actually, strawberries and roses are typical aromas of rosé. Okay, so let's taste. Nice aromas. We sip a little bit. And we swirl it in our mouth in order to cover all the palate. And you can also take some oxygen in order to help it identify the flavors of the wine. That's why we taste it this way. And then it becomes a bad habit and you drink it this way sometimes. So if you sip a little by little, you can also identify. Usually what we smell is what we taste. Otherwise we say that it's not so balanced. Usually what we expect and smell on the nose is what we taste on the palate. Do you like it? That's the most important.
I like it, but
But
I wouldn't be able to say why do I like it. Like, I like that it's fruity, and overall it's quite light, and feels fresh.
it does, yes. The freshness, I think, is what we call acidity. The feeling of lemon when we swallow it. Because if a wine has low acidity, it's like drinking a juice, not a wine. This is what we also appreciate.
But for me it's like too high in acidity. Yes. I don't like it.
You prefer lower
I prefer,
acidity.
yes, sweeter. It's not sweet enough
yes.
for me, yes.
I see what you mean, because when the acidity is lower, you have the perception that it's sweeter. Do you think that this is dry or less dry, off dry, we say it? Can you identify a little sugar in it?
I think it's more dry. I don't think
Yes.
it's very sugary.
Yes, yes. Correct, this is dry, yes. I think this is, as you mentioned, fresh. This is as rosé should be, really fresh and easy drinking. And you can combine it with so many foods, cheese and chicken and seafood and fish and salty snacks. Because the acidity is high, it loves salt.
But for example, would you recommend this one for dessert? Or it's not really?
We have a huge category dessert wines, sweet wines that are made in various ways, but this is not sweet. This is like for food. When we have a dessert, we prefer the wine to be slightly sweeter than the dessert itself. You've been in Santorini. Vasi has been in Santorini recently.
Yes.
Vinsanto. Have you heard of this in Santorini?
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere, yes. This is the famous sweet wine from Santorini, made from sun-dried grapes. This is.
But is this the one that we'll try?
No,
okay.
these are all dry rosés. This is grape variety Armenian, red variety. We have reds and rosés, an ancient Armenian grape variety. And this is also Armenian Tigrani, like tiger, Tigrani. This is a small winery. 3 brothers work there.
Do you know the brothers?
Yes, I know the brothers.
Oh, that's so
Giragaspanyan is this. This is their surname. How is it called in English? Windmill? Mill?
Oh yeah, the windmill.
What? Yes, yeah.
Yes.
You will see that all rosés will be different because the grape varieties are different. This is slightly darker than the previous one. We generally identify the color by using a white background, and then we can see the color.
But show it to the camera. It's like
We usually add a white background, and we can easily identify the color, whether it's more pinkish or more salmon. This is more, the first was more salmon. This is also pink salmon, peach we can say. Let's swirl this to reveal the aromas. And tell me whether it's more intense or less intense than the previous one.
more intense, for
Right.
sure. This is here I can really feel the like raspberries or something sweeter.
Yes, yes. And probably the berries can be more ripe, we can say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really intense.
There's something special I can't understand.
It already feels like it's going to be sweeter than the previous one.
Yes, exactly, because the...
I didn't want to spoil it. I'm just trying for once
Yes, that's
to say
correct,
something.
because the intense, the ripe aromas give us the sensation that it's like an illusion, that it's more sweet, whereas it's again dry.
Oh.
Very concentrated aromas. With this variety, sometimes I smell, it's not in the characteristics of wines, but I smell a little lollipop. Sweet lollipop, like strawberry flavor.
I would say Haribo.
Haribo, yes, Haribo. Candy, we can say candy.
Yes,
but
yeah.
It's officially, when a sommelier studies to become a sommelier, it's not a descriptor. But in wine, everything can get really out of the scope of the book, we can say, out of the theory. And each person has different experiences, and we can smell so many different things. So we agree, more intense aromas, more raspberry, more ripe strawberry, red roses.
And maybe pomegranate.
Pomegranate, yeah, yes. Yeah, that's right. Correct. Generally, we should concentrate, like be alone, and then we can smell more and train our brain to smell. And usually, it's said that women smell better than men, despite the fact that the majority of sommeliers are men.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Very much.
I like it more than
Why?
the previous
Why
one.
do you like it?
Because because I can feel more the fruity side of it.
rather than the acidity.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smelling it again and I like it even more.
Yes, we have more variety of fruits and aromas. And I
But what
think
does it depend on that we feel more or less the aroma or the fruity to the
it
wine?
depends on the grapes, it depends on the techniques, it depends on the time that they harvested the grapes. So the later they harvest it, usually the more intense the aromas and flavors are because the grape is riper. So it depends both on like generic reasons and on techniques, nature and winemaking techniques too.
And does it depend on where is it like stored on the, I forgot the names.
On the vineyard,
Yes.
so much, because the more sunlight it receives, the riper the grapes become. Also, with this winery, they experiment so much, they have grapes from different soils. Limestone, next
That's
year
so
it will be
interesting.
more, for example, clay, and it will have different expressions. Yes,
Interesting.
yes, it all depends. Yes.
It's so nice. And
Yeah.
we can have it like with seafood because I think it would be good. A nice combination.
Yes, and with meat too, as long as it's not that fatty, because usually fat likes tannins. Tannins? Where can we find tannins? In which wines?
Red wines.
Red wines, tannins. This feeling
I
of
don't
drying
know
your
what's
palate, this is tannins.
Oh,
And these are so healthy for us, right?
thank you. Thank you,
Thank you very
Marina.
much.
Thank you for participating, for tasting.
It was amazing having you on my channel, and also her channel will be linked in the description down below, so if you are interested in wine you can go and check it out.
And if you would like to learn some Greek, because the majority of
Yes.
videos are in Greek, some in English as this one. Thank you so much for coming, for participating.
And I hope you guys learned something new as well.
Thank you.
Goodbye, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.